Last but not least, guys, we've got the first fight of the night, the curtain jerker, if you will. So if y'all have questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you start rolling those into the chat right now so that way I could get to those before we get out of here. And to the 52 people rocking with us live, drop that thumbs up if you don't mind. If you have somebody that loves fighting in your life, let them know about the show. Let them know that we have high-level MMA discussions that are fun, that are engaging, and that are trying to put you in a position to succeed ultimately. From the beginning of my process to the end of my process, I try and keep you guys well informed. And we've got this prelim curtain jerker to break down. So y'all have been with me since the beginning. I appreciate you. If you just tuned in now, welcome aboard. My name's Liam, and I'm about to pick the last fight of the night. Montana De La Rosa, JJ Aldrich. It'll be the first fight of the night next Saturday. And we've got Montana De La Rosa coming into this fight off of a series of losses. You know, she lost to Tatiana Suarez, but I think most people would agree she probably fought a little bit better than they expected. You know, went out there and defended some positions, forced, her opponent Tatiana to work, forced Tatiana to get her back to the ground, on a couple of the exchanges. And that was at 125 pounds. And Tatiana Suarez then went down to 115 pounds, where she's a little bit more physically imposing and naturally suited for the weight class. Sharpest chat in the world. Appreciate you for that, library. Like to say the sharpest chat in the game, but if it's in the world, damn it, we'll take it, because the game is just a small part of the world. And next, we've got the Maycee Barber fight. You know, she lost that one. She got bullied there physically. I thought that was a fight that she could win, honestly, because you look at Montana and she's got some wrestling skills. She's got an ability to grind it out, grin it out, make it close. But she's kind of hit and miss, I would say, over the course of her career. And if a girl can compete with her physically, a Viviane Araújo, a Maycee Barber, a Tatiana Suarez, a Mayra Bueno Silva, and Andrea Lee, she really struggles in those matchups. She has to be able to impose herself physically on her opponent. Enter short notice JJ Aldrich, a girl who's 8-5 inside the octagon, who got a win in her last fight over an overmatched opposition. She lost as a big favorite. Prior to that, she got dominated. If you look back at the Maycee Barber fight, that first round, JJ Aldrich was getting off on a lot of success. But by that second round, Maycee Barber was just dominating her with power, walking her down, throwing her around, beating her up in the clinch, beating her up at distance. And you look at the Sabina Mazo fight, I mean, JJ Aldrich really has no excuse to lose that fight. I feel like at the time, she was a little bit more experienced. She was a little bit more put together. She had already fought Tatiana once. And, she had beaten Polyana Viana, along the way. She had gotten some real wins, but I just feel like you look at her career, split decision win over Courtney Casey. Nice win, but Courtney Casey kind of up and down fighter. Beats Jillian Robertson. That's a good win. Stuff the takedowns there, but Jillian Robertson basically needs the takedowns or she can't win the fight. Vanessa Demopoulos needs the takedowns or she can't win the fight. So she won those fights. And I think of this fight and I say, Hannah probably needs the takedowns to win this fight. She's 8-2, in career fights that end via submission. And I just think of this fight, and I got to do my research and due diligence here. But if Montana's the underdog by a significant degree, which I expect she probably will be, then I'll probably be interested in the Montana side. You know, I've never been a big JJ Aldrich backer. It's just not who I am. It's not how I play. JJ just always seems a little bit suspect to me. She's definitely gotten better over time, no doubt about it. But I just feel like she has susceptibilities, vulnerabilities. She can break mentally. And I think that those are things worth fading at times in women's MMA. So if the price is right, I'll certainly be interested in potentially fading. Want to shout out to the chat now, guys. Easy picks and bets says great stuff per usual, Liam. Thanks for the knowledge. Always got to catch up with the rest later. Good night, everyone. Good night to you, my brother. Thank you so much for being here. And what I can tell you guys is all these content like matchups will be clipped up piece by piece. So if you want to go back and reference one of these matchups that we talked about, one of the breakdowns, they will all be searchable, very easy for you on the channel. In addition to that, if you guys want to re-listen, if you want to watch back, if you missed the beginning of the show, I'm going to go back. I'm going to timestamp the entire video so that way it's easy to navigate around this video. Last but not least, if you guys want to listen to just the audio, you're on the go, you got something else going on, no problem. I make this show available on Rewatch. There's no ads. There's no bullshit, nothing. It's on Spotify. So if you have a normal Spotify premium account or whatever, however you get your podcast, whatever you do, go to Spotify, go to Apple iTunes, all this shit. If it's not on the podcast platform you go to, let me know in the comments below and I'll try and rectify that as well, because I've tried to get it up as many places as possible. But basically, you just search Liam Picks Fights, you'll easily find the show. And I'm trying to make it as easy as possible to access this content. So if there's anything more that I could do to make it easier for you guys to see what I'm talking about, to find the matchups you're looking for, things like that, please go ahead and let me know that in the comments section down below. I would really, really appreciate it. That would mean a lot to me. In addition, guys, if there's any more content that you'd like, here's what I got to let you know. There's no UFC this week, right? So we're talking about the first look at a UFC that's coming up next Saturday, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. It's going to be in October. We're still in September. So if you guys are looking for more content this week, if you want me to talk about a specific matchup that's in the future, if you want me to talk about, one of these great books on the side here, if you want me to talk about a combat sports video game, whatever it is, drop that in the comment section below as well. And I'm happy to discuss because we do have a little bit of time on our hands, but also what you can expect, a lot of get ahead work from me. Going to be getting a grip on some of these upcoming UFC matchups, as well as some of these smaller shows and organizations. I know my guy Patchy Mix is soon up to the plate as well. So wanted to get some of those announcements off of our chest. Now let's refer back to the great live chat and all the things that people are asking in the comment section right now. So Pony Smofor says the play here is Rosa dog odds, except for short notice Aldrich to look flat, in my opinion. I totally agree with that, brother. Short notice is an important factor to note as well. Understand Boxing, friend of the show, says, what's up, Liam? Appreciate this, brother. It's always my pleasure. Good guys versus the bookies each and every week on this show. So hope that you guys are able to make a bag, whether you're with me or against me on any of these matchups. Luca says, I don't understand how Na Liang was able to take down JJ Aldrich easily, but Aaron Blanchfield couldn't take down JJ. Okay, Aaron Blanchfield is what you call a good fighter, okay? And so good fighters pace themselves, right? They have to know, I got to fight for 15 minutes. And so she needed to fight in a way that was sustainable over the course of 15. In my humble opinion, Aaron Blanchfield does her homework on her opponent. She knows how they operate. And she knows that a girl like JJ Aldrich will break in a difficult fight. And so she continued to get in her face, to press the action, to punch her, to make it close, to make it difficult. And so, yeah, she definitely lost some moments and positions and situations to JJ Aldrich, but she was on a path to breaking her, in my opinion, from when the moment the fight started till the end, because she continued to get in her face, apply pressure, go for the takedowns, make her think about multiple levels of attack. And with a girl like Na Liang, she kind of only has one pace, right? She's a sprinter. She comes out there with a pace she can't sustain for 15 minutes. And so, yeah, you can do things like if you want to just go out there and spaz, you could maybe pick somebody up and throw them, but then you might only have a minute inside the octagon that you can go. Whereas if somebody else comes out there and they're composed and they don't overdo it, Daniel Cormier talks about big actions. How many big actions are you able to pull off over the course of the night? Not that many. So if you're going to do a big action, it better pay off. It better have real dividends and a return on investment. And I don't think that, typically speaking, Na Liang's takedowns at her, crowding people and going right after that takedown has really led to a high return on her investment, right? So for Aaron Blanchfield, when she gets women to the mat, it's normally a wrap. When she gets women down to the ground, she can normally impose her will and her skill set on them. But she's also not going to force it and waste energy, in my opinion, to do that. So I just think that she's operating on a couple different levels. Cuban Assassin says JJ Aldrich needs a tanning bed like yesterday.